You're watching the Sports and Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business.
Like I said, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to play with the guys that I did have the opportunity to play with. And it's been like that every year that I've played in the league. So we had enough. Next year, we will have enough. And we're going to be right back in the same situation. And we're going to get it done.
That was 1 year ago to the day that the Miami Heat lost at home to the Boston Celtics to the tune of 196. And this year, Jimmy Butler made good on that promise. And he made good on the guarantee after the heartbreaking loss they endured in Game 6. The Miami Heat went into Boston after blowing a 3-0 series lead. And they were able to go in there and defeat the Boston Celtics in convincing fashion. And now they'll be en route to Denver to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. Hold on. So I apologize for that. 103-84 was the final score. Jimmy Butler had 28 points. Caleb Martin had 26 points. And look, despite everything that the Miami Heat went through, from being in a position to where they were one game away from not even making the playoffs, to now representing the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals, the second eighth-seeded team to do it. The previous team that did it before was the New York Knicks back in '99. That strike-shortened season. It is a testament to the Miami Heat and the culture that they have set forth. And once again, of the 151 scenarios where a team has been down 0-3, it still remains no team has came back from 0-3 deficit to win the series. It's only happened one time in Major League Baseball. That was back in 2004, where the Boston Red Sox came back from a 0-3 deficit to defeat the New York Yankees in 7 games, and they were able to do that in Yankee Stadium. It happened 4 times in hockey. It happened 4 times in hockey to where a team came back from 0-3 to win a series. The most recent was the 2013-2014 season where the LA Kings came back from 0-3 deficit to beat the San Jose Sharks, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup. That's the most recent one. So it just goes to show you how rare this is. What did the Boston Celtics in my opinion? Watching the game last night, what did the Boston Celtics end? Was going 9 for 42 from the 3. So it's a classic case of you living by the knife and you're going to end up dying by the sword. You're going to live by the knife, you're going to die by the sword. And I ask people to not put up conspiracy theories on this particular video. I don't want to hear nothing about the referees and nothing like that. I don't want to hear nothing about the NBA rigging this and the NBA rigging that. We're not talking about that. please respect the video and what we're talking about. Do not come in here and put up stupid ass conspiracy theories. I don't want to hear it. No trolling. Absolutely no trolling. I don't care who you are. You come in here trolling. If you got a wrench, I'm taking your wrench and I'm put you in timeout. We're trying to be serious here. All right. So none of that. Leave that clown shit on the outside. The Boston Celtics, when they tried to get back in the game, the Miami Heat always had an answer, and it was in large part to Jimmy Butler and or Caleb Martin. They always had an answer for Boston trying to make a comeback. They always had an answer. There was one point in the third quarter where the Heat were up by as little as 7 points. Boston got it to win, but then 71-64. And they came down, I think Caleb Martin came down, hit the three that put them up 10 in the fourth quarter, or going into the fourth quarter. And then the Heat scored like 7 straight points, and they end up pulling away. Another element to why Boston lost this game last night, their star players didn't show up. Jason Tatum didn't show up. He played 42 minutes, only had 13 points, or 14 points on 13 shots or something like that. It was highly inefficient. You had Jaylen Brown scoring 19 points on 23 shots, and he had 8 turnovers. I mean, again, in a game like that, you cannot be careless with the basketball. You cannot. And then it was just guys just settling for 3-point shots. Miami did towards the tail end of Game 6, where they were playing zone and they were really closing out on guys and making things difficult for them, shooting the three. And it carried over to Game 7. 9 of 42. When Jaylen Brown goes 1 of 9 from the three, Derek White going 2 of 9 from the three, you have Marcus Smart going 1 of 6. So you had guys settling for shots. It was just lackluster, man. It was just an unacceptable performance from a Boston Celtics team that had all the momentum going back home for a Game 7 for a right to play in the NBA Finals. Now, there's a lot of trolls out there and a lot of people who don't know nothing about basketball in mainstream media and in social media that's calling for Joe Mazzulla to be fired. This man, as a rookie coach, got you to within 1 game in the NBA Finals, and you're calling for this guy's job. You guys should not be talking basketball at all. A rookie coach get this team within 1 game in the NBA Finals, and you already calling for his job? You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Stop talking basketball. When you got guys that's been there 3 years, when you had coaches that have been there 3 years and not even sniffed the playoffs. Forget sniffing the playoffs, them even having a winning record, let alone sniffing the playoffs, and y'all want to get a guy fired who's a rookie coach that took this team to within 1 game of the NBA Finals. I swear to fucking God, man, some of you guys out there are unbearable when it comes to talking basketball. That being said, The veterans, the core of this team, they've been here before. They know what it's like. They should not have to look at a motivational video about the Boston Red Sox coming back and beating the Yankees en route to them winning the World Series. If you got to look at a video to motivate you to get ready to play a game, then I don't want you out there. You shouldn't have to look at a motivational video of a baseball team coming back from 0-3 to win the series. I don't give a fuck if it's in the same city. What's up, Asia Boo? Salute to you. Good to see you. I appreciate you for being up in here. They had the talent. Now, one guy I believe that should have played more minutes was Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard can actually shoot the ball and he could play tenacious defense. So if there was one adjustment that Joe Mazzulla could have made was giving Peyton Pritchard more minutes. See, in a game like that, you need, if your star players ain't getting it done, you need to find somebody that's going to light a spark. And I thought Peyton Pritchard would have been that guy. Grant Williams. Where was Grant Williams last night? Did Grant Williams played a bunch of minutes last night and didn't do nothing? Because I know sure as hell Jaylen Brown didn't do anything after Jason Taylor rolled his ankle not even a minute into the game. It just felt like whatever run the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics tried to make, the Miami Heat always had an answer. And they actually, the Miami Heat actually won the game in convincing fashion, because despite the fact that Bam Adebayo was a virtual no-show. Yeah, he had a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds in 43 minutes from Bam. That's unacceptable. You cannot take that into the Denver Nuggets series. But yeah, Caleb Martin, he was great last night. But Al Horford, 8 points in 34 minutes. Derek White, 18 points in 36 minutes. Marcus Smart, if he's not flopping all over the place like a fish out of water, he's out there bricklaying. 9 points in 35 minutes. That's unacceptable. Grant Williams only played 16 minutes. Robert Williams, the Time Lord, he had a stomach bug last night. That's why he only played 14 minutes. This dude was throwing up in the locker room during the game. But Malcolm Brogdon only played 7 minutes. Peyton Pritchard only played 4 minutes. And I think those 4 minutes was in garbage time when the game was well out of reach. So congratulations to the Miami Heat, man. They made me a believer. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not have this team getting past the Milwaukee Bucks. And then when they got past the Milwaukee Bucks and they were going to play the New York Knicks, I did not have this team going past the Knicks. They made a believer out of me because I was completely wrong about the Miami Heat. And I was completely wrong about the Denver Nuggets. I'm going to have to cover them in another video. Now, as for the Boston Celtics, another year, another load of questions of what if. Like, what if we hadn't fired Ime Udoka based on fake outrage by Malika Andrews? Then Joe Mazzulla would not be a thing. Would the Boston Celtics go to the NBA Finals? Or would the Boston Celtics get eliminated in one of their playoff rounds? We will never know. Because now Ime Udoka is in Houston. So now we got a question of what do we do with Jaylen Brown? Do we pay him the supermax of $297 million? Al Horford, I think he's on his last legs. Al Horford should retire. Peyton Pritchard is probably going to look for a bigger role somewhere else. Grant Williams is going to be gone. He's going to look for a bigger role somewhere else. So this Boston Celtics team, as you know it, is going to be completely gone. It's going to be completely gone. It's going to be completely different. Obviously, Tatum is going to be the anchor of this team. Also, there's questions about what's going to happen with Marcus Smart. What do you do with him? Do you bring him back? Or do you let Marcus Smart go on the greener pastures and have him chase a bag? Now, if you ask me, Marcus Smart looked like Sonic the Hedgehog that got green goo poured at him when he was at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards. But hey, what do I know, right? But there's questions about Marcus Smart. And then what are you going to do with Malcolm Brogdon? So this team, as you know it, is going to be a completely different roster next season. Robert Williams, the third, the Time Lord, stays injury prone. And then what will Joe Mazzulla learn in his second year as head coach? What's he going to take from this year into the next year? Because if y'all think Joe Mazzulla getting fired, you high on crack. If you think Joe Mazzulla is going to get fired from Boston, you're high on crack. Because y'all got to think, if Brad Stevens had any inclination that Joe Mazzulla was not the guy, they would have not have taken the interim tag off of him and not given him a contract extension. You guys got to think, man. Some of you guys don't think, man. Y'all just listen to some ESPN, Fox Sports 1 talking point, and y'all going to run with that, man. I tell you, man, some people don't think, bro. If Brad Stevens and the organization thought Joe Mazzulla was not the guy, they would have not taken the interim tag off of him before the All-Star break. Obviously, the Boston Celtics organization saw enough in Joe Mazzulla to where they took their interim tag off of him and gave him a contract extension. Now, could this blow up totally in my face and the Boston Celtics fire Joe Mazzulla? Yes. It could totally blow up in my face tomorrow or the next week or whenever they decide to and fire Joe Mazzulla. But that's highly unlikely. Because, see, I know a lot of people saying the coach is the problem, but was he the problem when they came back from 0-3 to tie the series? Was he the problem then? No, he was not. The problem was the Boston Celtics lived and died by that three-point shot. If you ask me if you give me one scenario to where the Boston Celtics fucked it up, it's that three-point shot. When you go 9 of 42 from the three, that's like 21%. You're not beating nobody. You're not beating nobody going 9 to 42 from the three. Yeah, you already know Ishabu. Yeah, man, these these goddamn armchair GMs that'll be on ESPN, man, they're unbearable to listen to. That's why I don't listen to them. They're gonna need to get somebody on the interior to replace Al Horford, right? A versatile, basically a versatile big who can shoot the three and play interior defense and rebound. So they need to find someone that's going to replace Al Horford on that front. And should they decide to bring back Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, should they decide to bring back that core for one more run, I think there's adjustments that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to make. And one of those adjustments, in my opinion, is they need to trust their teammates. They need to do a better job of trusting their teammates. When they don't got it going, they got to trust their next man to get them through. Whether it be Grant Williams, whether it be Malcolm Brogdon, whether it be Derek White, should they decide to bring Derek White back, whether it be that Sonic the Hedgehog looking clown and Marcus Smart who like flopping everywhere like a fish out of water. Now, Marcus Smart gonna have to do some adjustments himself, especially on the defensive end. There was one play in the fourth quarter where Jimmy Butler was trying to drive and pull up for the jump shot. Marcus Smart was sliding out of bounds from the free throw line, and the referee called an offensive foul on that. Oh, you say that's your niece? Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, Brandon Ethero. I appreciate that. Salute to all y'all for being in the building. That boy Lati was good with you. If y'all want to donate, hit me in the Cash App, PayPal if y'all want to donate, right? Next year, the NBA is going to start implementing flops as technical fouls. They're going to start this trial run during the summer league next year. So, Marcus Smart, the days of you flopping everywhere, right? Whether it be you, jumping, doing splits like you're a cheerleader, or you doing all kinds of acrobatic flips while crashing your reckless body into the crowd. Hopefully you don't punch nobody like you did in Oklahoma State, right? Those days of you flopping everywhere are going to be done, okay? It's going to be done. So you're going to have to figure out a way to play better defense than to flop everywhere, have the referee blow the whistle on you. As far as the Miami Heat go, as far as Eric Spoelstra go, especially, the Miami Heat complete this deal. This, in my opinion, right? Because a lot of people are saying that, oh well, Eric Spoelstra's not a good coach because Eric Spoelstra got his 2 championships from LeBron James, and well, look what he did without LeBron. He completes this deal, they'll shut all that up. That will shut all of that up. And what's his Eric Spoelstra? He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to the Hall of Fame every year, no matter where they at in the playoff season. Somehow, this team finds a way. And this is a testament to Eric Spoelstra, a guy who was a videographer for the team at one point when Pat Riley was the head coach. This man was a videographer. Now, he has taken this team to 2 NBA finals in 4 years. So if Eric Spoelstra got this Miami Heat team that ain't supposed to go nowhere, ain't supposed to do nothing, overachieving, then clearly the Boston Celtics team, who was expected to be a perennial NBA Finals threat, winning championships, setting up dynasties and all that, being amongst the greats of Celtic lore, well, they've underachieved. Clearly, they underachieved. What's up, Carl Ward? Salute to you. So, look, you got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hat off to the Miami Heat, man. They made a believer out of me. Jimmy Butler made a believer out of me too. This man, Jimmy Butler, took a group of guys who was basically undrafted. If you think of the guys that went undrafted, like Caleb Martin and Duncan Robinson, guys like that. No Tyler Hero, no Victor Oladipo. You had Gabe Vincent. I think he was another guy that went undrafted. Twist his leg in the playoffs or twist his ankle. And I think it was Game 5 he twisted that ankle. Right? No, it was games. Where was Miami Heat? I think it was Game 4. I believe it was Game 4. He twisted his ankle in that game, and we didn't know if he was going to come back or not. What's up, Tyler Brown? Think tank. But he came back, got it out. So a team with Jimmy Butler and a bunch of undrafted guys are going to the NBA Finals over a team that had 2 All-Stars in Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, a former Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. It's poetic justice. It's poetic justice. And for them to do it on the day, 1 year to the day, where the Boston Celtics went down to Miami and beat the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat goes to Boston and defeat the Boston Celtics, and they're playing in the NBA Finals. Wow. So still, no team has ever came back from 0-3 to win a series in basketball. It's never happened. The other 3 times it happened was back in 1951 NBA Finals with the Rochester Royals, who's now the Sacramento Kings, defeated the New York Knicks after the Rochester Royals were up 0-3. Knicks came back, tied the series, and the Rochester Royals won in Game 7. 1994, the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Denver Nuggets team just got done beating the Seattle Supersonics in the first round. That was the best of 5, right? They were down 0-2. They came back and won the series. That was the first time an 8 seed beat a 1 seed in the playoffs ever. That's the first time it's ever happened that at that particular time, right? So the Denver Nuggets, they were the 8 seed. They played the 5 seed Utah Jazz in the second round that year. Utah Jazz went up 0-3 on the 3-0 on the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets came back and tied that series, and then the Utah Jazz won Game 7. 2003 first round. You had the Dallas Mavericks play the Portland Trailblazers. The Dallas Mavericks go up 3-0 on the Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers came back and tied the series, only for the Dallas Mavericks to win Game 7. So those were the other 3 occasions to where a team has gone up 3-0, only to blow the lead, and then they turn around and and win Game 7. You gotta give a salute to Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler's a beast, man. That man's a beast. And he made no excuses about nothing. He ain't blame the refs. He ain't talk about, oh, I had this player, I had that player, he ain't talked about the coaching and none of that. Another ironic thing that happened last night, on the thumbnail, you see Jimmy Butler win that MVP trophy. That is the Larry Bird trophy for the Eastern Conference Most Valuable Player. And that trophy was handed out to Jimmy Butler on the Celtics court. That's right. So Jimmy Butler wins the Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals MVP on the Boston Celtics home court. And then you had Nikola Jokic win the Magic Johnson MVP, which is the Western Conference Finals Most Valuable Player, on the Lakers home court. Pretty ironic that those type of things played out, didn't it? Pretty ironic. The Bob Cousy Trophy is the conference finals champion. So not only the Miami Heat won the Bob Cousy Trophy on the Celtics home court, Jimmy Butler wins the Larry Bird Trophy on the Celtics home court. That got a sting. That has the absolutely sting right there. So to recap, right? For all y'all just came in the building, right? Appreciate y'all for being up here listening to me on this video, right? I don't take that very lightly either. You fought all the way back from 0-3 deficit, tied the series. You get the game back to game 7, to where had y'all won, y'all would have won both the Bob Cousy Trophy and the Larry Bird Trophy on your home court, because had the Boston Celtics won that game, most likely it would have gone to Jason Tatum, right? It would have either gone to Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. One of those two would have won that Larry Bird Trophy on the Boston Celtics home court. That's got to sting. I know those Boston Celtics fans are really pissed right now. And you know, the morning after, the aftermath, people going to be calling for Joe Mazzulla's job because he's the path of least resistance. Oh man, he's a rookie coach, man. He don't know what he's doing. How did he get that gig? I mean, ain't no better coaches out there. Now there's a rumor out saying that Doc Rivers could return to Boston should the Celtics fire Joe Mazzulla. Now, I'm not giving that no kind of validity, because if you ask me, I think Doc Rivers goes to Phoenix. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. I think Doc Rivers goes to Phoenix. Now, as a Lakers fan, I'm very happy about this. You know why? Because the Boston Celtics will not get an 18th championship. That means we are tied with them. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. I thank y'all for tuning in. And last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Hey!